Let me be surrounded with people, Pastor says. Hello, everyone. Hello. Greetings. How are you? There was somebody speaking. So please go on. I was witnessing, the sister says, and a pastor asks everyone to come closer. The sister repeats her witness that 3 years ago she had problems with her vessels, and without God she would have died 3 years ago, but God you bring good to people, you serve to people, you bring joy to people. Yes, answers the sister, yes, because of God, I have survived, and I will live, and I will serve God. That's why I'm here. That's why God gave me life. So please switch on the light, the whole light in the room. We'll have to add some lamps. Thank you very much for your witness. It was interesting. Please sit down, everyone. There is somebody who's going to read questions today. Pastor asks if there are going to be people, because some of the coats are hanging over the chairs, and today I was told that there are many questions. Hello, Pastor Victoria, how are you? How have you got here, actually? Glad to see you. So, I heard we have a lot of questions collected to me. People want to ask me questions, and I have no time to answer those questions. So, today I was asked to answer the questions. I'm obedient, I'm trying to be obedient. So, whoever is in charge, we are opening our questions. While we are opening, maybe someone wants to witness what's going on in your life. What's going on in your life? What would you like to have? What would you like to know? Maybe you have questions. Maybe you have questions here among the people who are present. So nobody has a desire right now. What book have you read recently? Now I'm reading about positive and negative critics. How to perceive critics, and before that I had been reading several books. Pastor asks if we have translations for foreigners. Hello. So I was reading a book about respect to parents, and Pastor asks if our sister liked the topic, and she says that I've been a believer since my childhood. Pastor Sunday asks our sister to come forward. And let's go. I've been a believer since my childhood, and of course, since my childhood, I respected my parents. I have always understood where I have to respect them and what good it brings when you honor your parents. I'm from the west of Ukraine. And we have always spoken very politely to our parents. We call them you. And my mother was very concrete in this field, so actually we called each other politely, like capital U in the family. But what I was surprised and amazed with from the book, it's not about our parents only, but it's to respect your spiritual parents, your leaders, your pastors, teachers, respect to your to the authority in the country, to the mayor of the city. Well, of course, there is always what to work on, because if we don't do it, then who will do it? If we don't change and we don't start to change the world, who will do it? I've been for 2 months in Kiev. I've been working in Kiev. I'm working in a good company, and I see how bad it is, talking about the field of respect to the bosses, to the directors. So everybody is very simple to each other, and they even can use swearing and bad words. So this is a problem. Maybe you can recommend them to read this book. I recommend, Pastor. I tell them, I stop them. I live in a hostel, and so Pastor says, of course, that's right. Get these ladies and start to read the book with them. They hear when I read this book. This is exactly what we were talking about at work. There are different topics, so you can actually choose something that can catch women, so you should take the book. But, for example, today somebody asked me a question, what book I would recommend. The book for unbelievers. And I answered that we have a lot of different topics. If it is a girl, of course you can read how to get married. If it's a family, you have a book for the family. And if it is a good husband or a good wife, there are different books for different situations. Any book for unbelievers is good. You can choose anything. Pastor compliments that it's better when the sister is wearing glasses. He mentions that he noticed that the sister was wearing glasses when he came into the room, and now there are no glasses. So anyway, the sister is finishing her witnessing, and she says that in 2 days she's going home, and she has a full bag of books to any topic with her.
Вот, и в своем городе, конечно, уже работает библиотека, но хочу на уровне города, чтобы...
In my city, I have a library, but of course, I would like it to be working full time. Yes, and before we start asking questions, I want to know how you are. I want to know your opinion about what's going on in the country. Maybe you are worried. What do you have in your heart? What you can tell me about your life, because I want to know what you feel, or if it is so bad, so moody, so gloomy, then you don't want to talk about that. Hello everyone, I want to share my own experience, my life. I am Roman, from Lviv. It's a city in Ukraine, and I work with people who are gambling and gambling addicted. So I have noticed that actually we have banned gambling and any other hazard games. But still we have this problem. We have a lot of people who apply to our center, who work in militia, and their moms call that they have really these problems, deputies, dentists. So this problem is not only destroying the person who is gambling, but also the relatives, family, mother, wives. The worst thing, when the men are married, this is like a catastrophe, like a explosive in the family, because they promise and promise again, but the moment they go out of the house, they sell things, they steal money, they want to sell cars, and to get this money for gambling. I actually used to be a gambler. I did the same, but still I don't understand these people. I even took a loan from the bank, and I wanted to pay off my debts, but instead I doubled my debts. But when I look at these guys now, today, I see that they are double crazy, and in this case, it's very scaring. One morning, a man from my home cell called and told me that he was about to commit a suicide by hanging. And I always tell them, please call me anytime you have a problem. Call me, I will try to help you. But it was the first time I had ever had somebody calling me just about being dead, and I told him, please wait 1 minute, I will call you back. Please don't do it, wait, I don't do anything, I will call you. It was a real fact. I called my pastor, we prayed together, and I got this person out of the flat. We met, and this person is alive now, thanks God. What helped us is now he is in the war in the army, and he called us from there. The war has changed us. The war has made him sober, and taught him to perceive the world real. So thanks God, when he saw real world in the army, I saw that somebody is changed by the army, somebody is changed by the rehabilitation center. Is there Alex? Pastor asks to bring him some books. Good evening. My name is Ruslan. We are from Dnipropetrovsk. We have come to the retreat. I wanted to share about my thoughts about the situation in the country. We are working with rehabilitation centers, and 2 or 3 times a week we see tanks going to the war from there, because by looking at it we see that these techniques, these machines are very dirty, old, and we see those soldiers, they drink, they are in poor condition. Maybe some people don't really understand it, but this situation is very acute, and I would say thank you very much, Pastor, because without your preaching, without your teachings around, you hear only that people don't believe in you, don't believe in your success, they don't believe anything. We took just walls and empty house, we repaired it in 5 months. We invested 40,000 hryvnias with our own money. We have started the rehabilitation center. Our pastor teaches us to live with the goal and just become realistic. I tell as it is going to be. Not the situation dictates how it's going to be in the future. There is a song about people who see war, and there are people who see peace in war. Before starting that topic, I think yesterday I had a dispute or talking with our people. I decided to tell them which books I'm going to have next year. I wanted to give some names, 50 books, which are waiting to be edited. I started from the first book, and we started to talk. And that's why I think why I understand that this book is going to be popular. It's called 7 Miracles of Socialism, or there used to be the USSR, the country. The sense of this book is to let us understand why we are as we are. I started to write books about Europe, about European style of life, but I see that people are not ready. I understood how to do. We have to uncover the problem so that we could see why we should go to Europe, because sometimes we don't see the condition we are living in. This book will help us look at ourselves. Hello, where is it, your daughter? I was asking about you. So, the first chapter, 7 miracles of communism. The first miracle. Maybe somebody knows. Do you know the miracles which we had in socialism? No. First, everybody had a place of work. Everybody had a job. But nobody worked. So it's miracle. Everybody had a job, but nobody worked. In this chapter, we have the USSR, the country which overcame unemployment, but who needed it. If you come to work and you see that nobody works, who needed such victory over unemployment? The second, consequences of everyone's having a job. So everyone knew that they would have salary, they would have somebody who would help and do my work instead of me. So in this case, you can try to seem working, and in this case you just get a salary. So we had a victory over unemployment, but thanks to special services which gave job to everybody. So there is a service, for example, which gave you any job. It means you have no choice. I cannot determine where I want to live. That's why we have the system of being registered at a address. So in normal countries there is no registering to the address, but in the USSR we had this, and it's for slaves. It's only for slaves. You have to be registered so that you don't feel freedom. So, and because of that, the service which gave job to everyone worked with people, and it gave birth to corruption, because somebody knows somebody that I want to go to the city, not to the village, or I want to go to the factory, not to the village somewhere to work with animals. So who needs such kind of services which gave jobs? Because there is no competition. You don't feel that you have to be better, you have to be smarter. You know, even if you are as you are, you will get a job because of this system of giving a job to everyone. So that's why a lot of people still live that I have to be given a job, I have to be given a flat. That's why we cannot work out this crazy desired work and achieve something by ourselves, because it has been simply excised, the desire to create something, because we have been told what to do and somebody is still waiting for that. No competition. I will find a job, I will be at work anywhere, I will have a salary, so there is no competition. That's why we don't have these human values. It was killed by communism, and this is the first chapter. The second chapter, everybody had a job, but nobody worked. What did people do at work? First, they smoked. It's kind of a break for smoking. Coffee break, tea break, sweet break. They had air break just to have some fresh air, because you have to have it. So a lot of things just to kill time at work. That is a problem. It's not healthy. For example, capitalist, the owner, when you tell him, I'm going to smoke, he will tell you, what? You will lose the job. Half of the salary and go away. It's serious. It's very serious. And in our country, people don't want to work without smoking. They want a break, and they want a smoking break, and they want a bonus. And they have to play chess and some other games during the break. So there are different games which used to be popular during lunch in the USSR. So what did it bring to? All people who had jobs were the same. They were equal. It didn't depend if you worked a lot or you didn't work at all. It had no sense. You don't have to work because you will have your salary as everyone else. So the salary wasn't really big, but it was good that you at least you got something. That's why we have to run to Europe. We love Russia, but we have to run to Europe because it's a curse. And whereas the client is always right, if I am at my working place, and why should I please my clients? Why should I try to do the best? Why did the dentist put gold or silver teeth and didn't care about the look? Because you would never lose a job. There is no competition. You are everywhere the same. So if you change the dentist, you will have the same service. So why there is no value of a person? Because people were observed as bricks, the same. The only thing, they had to go to work and be there. That's why there was no value of a client. The third chapter, nobody worked, but the plan was completed 100%, which means, can you imagine nobody worked? Nobody worked, but they made plan for 100 and more %. And you try to understand, like, how it can be out of 10 people, only 3 people work, and how can they actually make that plan, not overmake or make more. And the main thing that the USSR was always the first and America was the second place. 5-year plan in 4 years. We had a lot of cheating papers, cheating plans, be like everyone else, because initiative will be killed or will be punished. The 4th chapter. The plan was done, but we had nothing in the shops. It's nonsense. How could that be that there is nothing in the shops, but the plans are completed, fulfilled 100%? The secrets of empty shelves in the shops. That's why we can say it's kind of the country based on cheating. And if you think that something has changed, if you are naive and you think that really something has changed, I'm so sorry for you. Still we have the same. And when we know how bad it is, how awful it is, then we will value such books like how to restore the country, how to become European, how not to steal from your work. Then we understand what's wrong with us, and then we will change. That is where corruption comes from. And what we had, the main thing was status. It was my working place, it was my diploma, I am a director. It's not about what you know, what you can do. The main thing was status. Can you imagine the country this way? Next, as a result, we had empty shelves in the shops and empty heads. Empty shelves are the result of empty heads. Chapter 5. In spite of having nothing in the shops, everyone had everything in their homes. That is a miracle. 7 miracles of socialism. Do you think this book is worthy of reading, of editing? Will it help people? The answer is yes. So that we understand who we are and where it comes from. We have to build a new state. One of the statements was, if you want to live, you have to learn how to spin around. Connections and relationships within the family solved every problem. It's one of the statements. So if everyone could help their relatives and so on, it was a miracle. In the West, in Europe, you don't need any relationships, friends. You need only your personal abilities. It's something new for us. One of the phrases from a popular Russian fairy tale, when a fish fulfilled dreams and desires. And one of the miracles, instead of having everything, everybody stole. Doesn't really matter. It wasn't even called stealing. It was kind of compliment from the company. Everybody stole. But still everyone had everything. Nobody died of hunger. People stopped wanting a better life because it didn't really matter. Whatever you did, you were the same. You were the same as everyone else. So I want everyone to read this book, to have this book. It's interesting to hear your opinion about this book. Who is for this book? 7 Miracles of Socialism. Do you want it?